Hi, my name is Kevin Ream. I'm Vice President General Manager of Finseeker Boats, and I'm sitting in our 220 Finseeker, excited to tell you all about this brand new entry. Just by the way of background, for specs, the LOA is 21 feet 8 inches. The beam is 8.6. The weight is just under 4,800 pounds at 4,790. The angle of entry at the bow is 42 degrees. We run a sharper angle of entry on all of our Finseeker product, and the dead rise at the transom is 20 degrees. As far as fuel capacity, 105 gallons, which is one of the best in class of anything in that 21, 22 foot segment of the marketplace. Now, often we're asked, what kind of performance can we expect with this boat? With a 200, it's a 46, 47 mile an hour boat. With a 225, it's 47, 48 mile an hour boat. And with a 250, you're probably looking at about a 51 mile an hour boat. Time to plane in every instance is 3.5 to 3.7 seconds. Here in the bow of the 220 Finseeker, there's several design features I'd like to point out. First, windlass is standard on both the 22 and 23 Finseeker, so you're never dealing with anchors on a manual basis. Next, one of the benefits of a Carolina flare design is that you provide a much deeper bow area as part of the design philosophy. You have a fully upholstered bow, and you have port and starboard removable lean backs, so that when they're not in use, they're easily removed and stored inside the head compartment. Full-length bow rails to hold on to in any kind of water conditions. And the forward upholstery is removable, so it snaps in place, and when it's not in use, it turns into a non-skid casting platform in the bow of the boat. The other great feature about the bow is this oversized in-floor ice chest. It's an insulated ice chest, and so that you can carry on anything that you need to keep refrigerated, and it drains to the bill. Now let's take some time to talk about the oversized head compartment in the 220 Finseeker. First, the outside entry door is designed for an additional bow seat that, when not in use, easily stows away and opens up the floor space again to walk around the helm station. Opening the head door, what you'll see is a large oversized head compartment with a large step, so you can step down easily into that oversized space. On the step is some non-slip soft touch mat, and it's also on the base of the floor. Inside the head compartment's a drain, so it's self-draining to the bilge and exits overboard. You also see storage designed for your bow lean backs on both the port and starboard side of the head compartment. The 220 Finseeker comes standard with twin 7-inch Garmin. They're preloaded with the Lakeview chips for freshwater and also the blue charts for saltwater. You can option up to larger screens if you like, and the one I'm sitting at happens to have twin 12-inch touchscreens on it. It's got a hand stitch brow over the dash. All the electronics are mounted on a black acrylic platform landing. You have complete stainless steel push button access to all your electronics. When they're not in use, they're a soft blue light. When they're in use, they're a red light. The one button on your screen that always stays red is the horn. We have a deluxe steering wheel with a spinner handle. You also have additional analog gauges. We have dual cup holders, USB and audio plug-in ports for your hands-free devices or cell phones, and also two 12-volt plug-ins. Also below the helm, have a full-length stainless steel footrail that's designed in. Now the 220 comes with a T-top standard. At the helm, you have a full windscreen, and you have access to a vent. So on a really hot day, you want to let the cool air in, just simply open the vent, flushes the cockpit area with cool air, and if a storm rises up or something happens, you just simply lock it down, and you have that full windscreen, seals that area off. We utilize the space underneath the leaning post is where we have our 65-quart Yeti cooler. It's on a locking shear pin. You simply remove the pin. It's on a seat slider that slides out, and then you can access the cooler and then slide it back when it's not in place. It's a great way to have access to a quick cold beverage when you're at the helm station, but also takes back all the floor space when it's not in use. Now moving to the back of the leaning post, what you see is the whole assembly is fiberglass and very high quality stainless steel. We use 1.5 to 2-inch tubing. We have 4 stainless rod holders. All of the stainless is 304 double buff, so it's a very high quality stainless part. We don't use powder coated aluminum like many of our competitors. Why? Because over time, as you slide your rods and reels in and out of those rod holders, over time those rods and reels will hit and chip that powder coating around those rod holders. A superior high-quality stainless part is going to outlast and outshow a powder-coated aluminum part, bar none. The cockpit design behind the leaning post is really what separates the Finseeker 220 and 230 from all the other products in its class. And what I mean by that, it's got a bait station located directly behind the leaning post that comes with a solid surface, 12.5 gallon live well, painted blue. It's got a recycle pump and an aerator. It's also set up for LED lighting at night so you can access your bait. It's got a safety grab rail. It's got a tool tray. You have tackle box access, or basically for your lures on both port and starboard, and you have a storage drawer underneath, so any of the bigger items you bring on board are easily accessed right there. So this bait station is really set up for the serious fishermen to access everything they need. We have a rear bait well, 10 gallons, all the same features, aerated, recycled, LED lit, and also because of the way that lid is set up, once you kick on the pump, for the aeration and the recycle, it creates a vacuum, and because of the tight seal on the lip and the way that that fiberglass is grooved out to receive that, it actually pressurizes that rear tank over time. Now let's talk about rod storage. The lean back comes with 4 stainless steel rod holders, but we also have rod storage on both the port and starboard side of the boat. We even have courtesy pads there so that when you put your rods into the rod holders, those large oversized bait cast reels banging against the fiberglass walls don't chip the fiberglass. We also light those up because underneath the rod storages come with full length tow rails. So fishing during the day or fishing hard at night, Finseeker takes on all of those challenges without a problem. What do you do now after you catch the fish? You have 2 large in-floor fish boxes with built-in macerators on both port and starboard. The dimensions of those fish boxes are 44 inches long, 12 inches deep. Moving aft on the 220 Finseeker, the rear seat is an easy access jump seat. So when you're needing additional seating running out to your fishing spot, the seat is in the down position. When you get ready to go fishing, you easily slide it up off a stainless steel slider and it locks back in place against the back wall of the transom, and it actually gives you a padded area to fight a fish off the rear of the boat. Moving towards the rear starboard side again, you have an acrylic transom door that seals off your transom. You also have your transom shower, which is standard equipment, and also your battery management panel. So you have your battery on-off switch and also your VSR. The VSR is the most sophisticated electrical system available right now. That VSR goes out and sends signals to all the batteries that are on board the boat, and it receives the signals back and finds out which battery is carrying the lowest charge. When it senses which battery is carrying the lowest charge, it directs all of its battery charging capabilities to that battery to lift that level of battery power up first. Let's talk a little bit about the rod holders. First of all, there's 3 on the port and 3 on the starboard, so 6 total. But I really want to point out the way that each one of those rod holders is angled differently. And the reason it is if you're running 6 lines, they can be easily tangled up. So by angling each one of those rod holders differently, it helps the lines track in the water and helps reduce line tangle. The other important thing to point out in a Finseeker is not only is this just a saltwater boat, it's really designed to fish the Great Lakes and deep and big freshwater as well as saltwater. And what I mean by that, with just about 15 minutes of effort, you can install downriggers and run those on the Great Lakes. Thanks for watching this Finseeker video. And if you're in the market for a boat to do some serious fishing without ever compromising the ability to take your family and enjoy some time on the water, then Finseeker's for you. Finseeker is changing the way people think about fishing. We'll see you at the boat shows.